I got my permanent residence in Denmark earlier this week, and I thought it was a good time to explore why would anyone consider not just moving here, but maybe also deciding to stay here for good. Of course, the usual stuff of work-life balance, high living standards, and all the jazz applies, but is that really enough to move thousands of kilometers away from your friends and family and endure terrible winters until eternity? I've been a professional immigrant for the past 16 years. I lived in Europe, Oceania, Asia, and now I'm back in Europe again. And maybe Copenhagen is not the most exciting city that I got to live in, but I do not really have any desire to move out of here anytime soon. So what does Denmark get out of this permanent relationship? And of course around 40% of all my income until the day I die. And what do I get out of this relationship? The Danes, who are a pretty nice bunch of people. Yes, they eat weird food and snacks, speak a funky language. They sing and dance around the Christmas tree and are happy to pay thousands of euros for a single wooden chair. They also apologize to me when I tell them that my Danish is not the best. They take off as much clothes as they can as soon as the sun is out. And for some reason they are very good at handball and badminton. And most of them are also super easygoing and let you do your own thing if you wanted to. Are they all great? No. There are obviously bad apples over here just like everywhere else. But generally you'll have a very decent life here amongst them. You also might have heard that it's quite difficult to make friends with Danes, but considering that most of my friends are international, shit, it's true. I also get to pay very high taxes. I pay around 40% of my income to the state, and I actually love it. While not everything is perfect here, and sometimes it would be nice to see a specialist in less than 6 weeks, I'm happy to report to you that the system generally works here. You pay a ton of taxes, but you and your fellow residents get a lot back. Free education, free healthcare, mostly neatly kept cities, a welfare system that is trying to catch vulnerable people who need help, youth allowances, and so forth. There are some odd exceptions to this. For example, daycare and kindergarten is not free. Dental stuff is also not free. And in recent years there have been significant cuts in some of these mentioned areas. But if I look at the bigger picture, things just generally tend to work. Oh, and we also have decent public transport here in Copenhagen, but I actually don't care about that because I bike. Actually, this week I have been having bike troubles, so I had to walk and take a bus to get around, and I really didn't love that. I'm so used to riding around that whenever I travel to a different city, I've really missed the bikeability of Copenhagen. Actually, I have a whole video on this topic, so you can check that out over here. You'll love it. And if you do, maybe you can also subscribe to the channel. Winter sucks. It sucks so much. But this country is built for surviving it, so at least it's cozy inside. And when it's not winter, it is super nice being here. And I literally cannot deal with the heat. Living in Australia was tough enough in the summers, but at least it was dry. Living in Japan during the summers was just pure moist hell for me. The sad reality is that this planet is getting hugged by us humans so much that it is really heating up too much for my own liking. While my friends and family are getting slow roasted back in those countries during the summers, here, I enjoy a leisurely 25 degrees. So now that we have established that the rest of the planet is burning to crisps, the only thing I have to worry about for my future is warmer winters and the sea swallowing my city. Is this concerning to me? I live on the second floor, a bit far from the water, so yeah, it sometimes pays off not being able to afford a waterfront property. But is there anyone else that I think about besides myself? I have a child, or two. And while the Danes gave us parents the worst shit you can imagine happening in our house, walking barefoot on Legos, it is the best thing ever to be a kid over here. And it really doesn't suck for the parents either. As a parent, I get to finish work at a time where I can come home to the family and spend some quality time with them. I have quite a lot of holidays, so we can go visit family outside of their mark, or just take a day off and I have a special day with the Lego hoarders. I could also choose to send my 3-year-old out into the forest 5 days a week with a bunch of adults, sticks, worms and bonfires if I wanted to, and knowing that they are going to be fine doing whatever they like. And kids are free. I mean, they are free. From an early age, they get to explore the world in a super safe country, encouraged by the adults around them. They get to make decisions and mistakes in their life that will form their personality into independent, daring, and hopefully happy people. So this all sounds lovely so far. Let's finish the video on the negatives. The language. Yeah, this is a real jordskokke. I am trying, but all you beautiful Danes speak such good English that you're making this hard for us. Yeah, this is on you. The wastefulness. This is a country that preaches a lot about being sustainable and eco-friendly, but it is also an extremely rich place, which produces an insane amount of waste. At one point, we were number 3 both in food waste and municipal waste production per capita in Europe. That is not something to be proud of. I am also part of this problem, but I'm honestly trying my best to reduce this. And about those cultural differences, I do worry about the things for the kids, and even for my own kids. For example, I am raising multiracial, multilingual, multicultural kids that do not look like your typical white Danish kids. They speak Danish and eat rye bread like there's no tomorrow, but will they ever truly belong here? And the winter. Yeah, I know I mentioned it before, but it sucks so much that it deserves to be complained about twice. So yeah, this was my 6-minute long love letter to becoming a permanent resident of Denmark. I'm super grateful to be able to live in a place like this. And while a lot of the effort to make this happen was done by my partner and I, we also have to be thankful to a lot of people who have helped us throughout the way. I would also like to say a big fuck you to this guy. Fuck you for pushing me over the edge to apply for permanent residency because I'm scared of what you are doing back in my home country. Fuck you for pushing my birth country to the wrong side of the current history. Fuck you for creating an environment in my birth country that might be hostile towards my own children that do not look a specific way. And fuck you for not taking good care of my family and friends back there. Thanks so much for watching the video. Watch more stuff or just subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.